Somebody notices that something small happens, but they're flying off the handle. It doesn't match what's happening. Or somebody who feels like they get nervous, maybe in a meeting with their managers or boss or skip levels, and they can't talk or express themselves or quite as well as they can when they're not around those people. So this exercise that we do is to look at or take inventory of what is going on. And in mindfulness, we really look at three things that are quite important, which is the body, the thoughts, and the emotions. We call this the pleasant events calendar or the unpleasant events calendar. At the end of the day or at the end of the week, just look back and notice, for example, if you do the pleasant events calendar, what was the pleasant event that you noticed? And it doesn't have to be anything monumental. It could just be, oh, I noticed the flowers in my yard that were so beautiful, or this coffee tastes wonderful, whatever it is, right? And so you notice what happened. And then we want to explore, do we notice any body sensations when that happened? Do you notice what thoughts were going through your mind when that happened? Can you remember? Or can you see them in the moment? And what emotions? So maybe with the coffee example, I could smell that wonderful morning coffee smell. I had a sensation of warmth in the body. I could notice maybe thoughts of, this is wonderful. This smells so good. And maybe an emotion is just warmth or contentment. So that's an example. And then you could do the same thing with unpleasant. Something very simple, like I was late for work, or I had coffee, but I didn't have any milk, or whatever it might be, just simple things. And noticing then again, what was the body sensation? What thoughts came through my mind and what emotions arose in that moment? So it's frustration, or is it anger? Thoughts like, oh, I should have gone to the grocery store. Why don't I do things on time, or whatever the thought might be? Body sensations of like scrunching or whatever you notice in the body. And do this exploration. And the most important thing here is to do it just like if you were playing a sport and you suit up. Our protection in mindfulness is an attitude of kindness and non-judging. Most probably the things that come out of the unpleasant events, there's going to be some things that we're not so proud of as far as like reactions or thoughts. So just know that's just part of the package. That's just how it is. And when we bring on that suit of kindness and non-judging and being an impartial observer of our experience, we can work with it. Then we can look at it. We get some distance. And then from there, we might notice patterns like, oh, wow, every time I'm in this situation, this is what happens in my body. And so once we start doing that, we start to get to know ourselves more and more. And we can start to develop a much more flexible way of interpreting our experience as pleasant or unpleasant or neutral. Neutral are the things that we hardly ever notice. Do it with small things, not big things. And see what happens when you explore that. And then maybe work with some of those things, or maybe at least just becoming more familiar with yourself so that you can create more space and begin to respond versus react. So it gives us a lot more space to be creative with our lives and to work with the reactivity that is not seemingly in our control, that we can manage and we can work with.